We've seen demand continue to drop, inventory rise slightly, but how is this affecting prices? This week on Market Watch. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Market Watch for the week of April 18th through the 24th. I'm your host, Jason Zwolak of the Zwolak Group with First Team and Christie's International Real Estate, coming to you as always from sunny Irvine, California. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. For those of you tuning in for the first time, each week I take a look at the Orange County and Irvine housing market as a whole, and then I break Irvine down into 3 separate markets. If you do like this video, make sure you subscribe. Hit the little bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. New videos are uploaded every single week. We saw some consistencies from what we've seen in the past couple weeks. We did see another drop in demand, and we did see a slight increase in our inventory. This is still expected as we go deeper into this COVID-19 pandemic and the stay-in-place order. It's typical for this to happen since we don't have as big a buyer pool. The buyer pool has shrunk significantly. There's not as many people out looking at properties. There's not as many people on the market right now shopping for homes. This is twofold. One, with the uncertainty right now, with the market, with jobs, some people just don't want to be on the market. And the other potential reason is they just can't get a loan. Lenders have tightened up their policies so much and their qualifications that some people just are forced out of the market because they just can't qualify for a home mortgage at this time. For those reasons, we're seeing that buyer pool shrink, and when that happens, we just have less demand. So we have less homes going into escrow, less homes selling, but at the same time, our inventory is going up. Now, albeit, our inventory is going up slightly. It's not going up in typical fashion. Last year at this time, we were close to 7,000 homes on the market. Right now, we're hovering around 4,500. So there's a lot less properties on the market. So our supply is staying slightly level. It's going up slightly, but it's staying pretty much level. But our demand has dropped significantly. And that's where we're seeing homes sit a little bit longer. But what we are noticing is prices aren't really being affected right now. We're not seeing big drops in prices. And we'll see that when we look at the numbers in a few minutes here. We see that the list to sold percentages are staying pretty solid. And so we're not seeing the prices affected yet anyway. This could happen down the line. The longer this goes on, I think the more we will see some effect moving into the housing market, and perhaps those prices will be affected. But as of right now, we're not seeing that. So that's a good thing right now for home sellers and home owners. Their equity is staying steady, so that's a good thing. But only time will tell on what happens with this. And the longer that we go into this, the more effects that we could see until we are really back into a normal situation, which we really don't know when that will be. With that being said, I'm going to jump right in. We're going to take a look at what happened in Orange County last week and compare it to the week before. So let's check out the Orange County housing market. So in Orange County this week, we have 315 homes sell. So that was down 10% from last week. Last week we had 350 homes sell, and it's down over 25% from 2 weeks before. So we are seeing that dip in demand that I spoke about a few moments ago. The supply, right now we have 4,524 homes on the market. That is up about 100 homes from last week. So our supply is only going up slightly, where our demand is dropping at a faster rate. The average days on market for the 315 homes that sold was 30 days. The average list price was $876,050. The average sold price $864,808 with so that gives us a 98.7% list to sold average. So that is a really solid list to sold average, only dropping off the list price by 1.3%. We're really not seeing that dip in prices that some people are expecting right now. When we look at our demand, our homes that are currently in escrow 1,797 homes. That's down 3.6% from last week. Last week we had 1,865 homes. So the one number that's really interesting here when we look at this is from week to week. So from last week to this week, our demand, homes in escrow right now, is 3.6%. Last week, we were down 7.6%. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as we move to next week, because is this starting to level out? We'll see if where that number lies with those number of homes going into escrow next week and see where we sit. It will definitely be interesting to see. But we do see that increase in inventory. We do see that decrease in demand that we talked about. And there's been kind of the status quo as we've gone throughout these weeks. However, like I said, pricing, 98.7% list to sold average. That's a good list to sold price. So these homes are coming on the market and they are selling. And again, we're April 24th. So a lot of these homes were sold when we were in our stay-in-home order. So that's a good sign right now. So now that we've taken a look at Orange County, we jump in and we take a look at Irvine, see what similarities and differences there are. So let's check it out. So in Irvine, last week we had 22 homes sell, down 12% from 25 last week. Last week we were down 22% from the week before. So we do see that number kind of balancing out a little bit. The average days on market for the homes that sold was 35 days, so selling pretty quickly still. The number of homes that are currently on the market in Irvine is 548. That is up 21 from from last week when we were at 527. The average list price last week was $919,420 with the average sale price of $906.94. List to sold average of 98.6%. And the one number that we do like is number of homes that are currently in escrow, 145 versus 146 last week. So we're still staying with that level number there. So we're not seeing much of a dip. So we did see a little drop in the number of homes that have sold. Again, dropped by 3. So we're down to 22. Inventory did go up slightly. So it went up 21 homes. And the number of homes that are in escrow is the same as last week. So that's a good thing. So we don't want to see that number drop too much because that's really where we could see some effect moving into the pricing. So we really want to watch these numbers as we progress through this stay-in-home crisis that we're going through right now. Now that we've taken a look at Irvine and Orange County, I break Irvine up into 3 separate categories. The first category is our first-time home buyer category. That is any home listed under $750,000. So let's check that out. So when we look at the first-time home buyer category, last week we had 6 homes sell versus 9 the week before. Total number of homes on the market is 147 homes versus 130 last week. So we did see a large jump here in the first-time home buyer category where we saw 17 homes added to the supply. That's the most of any of our 3 categories. And we also saw a drop in the number of homes that sold. The number of homes that are currently in escrow is 36. The average days on market for the homes that sold was 31, and the average days on market for all of the homes that are currently on the market is 49. So we did see some changes here in the market. We did see that a solid bump in the inventory in the first-time home buyer category, and we did see a little dip when it comes to the number of homes that sold. We had about a third, or 33% less homes sold this week compared to last week in that first-time home buyer category. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on this category. Anything under $750,000 is usually, it moves fast. There's a lot of buyers because the buyer pool is usually larger for this in normal times. But again, when you look at some of the restrictions that lenders are putting on these mortgages, where Chase is 20% down, 700 FICO score minimum, a lot of buyers are being kind of just phased out of the market right now, and they're by no means of their own, they're just being forced out because they just can't get a mortgage. So that once those qualifications are loosened, I think we'll see them jump back in, and we could see a little surge in the market. When that will happen, we just don't know. The only time will tell with that. So now that we've taken a look at the first-time homebuyer market, let's check out the step-up market. That's any home listed between $750,000 and $1.25 million. So let's check it out. So with the step-up market, what we're seeing is 13 homes sell. We actually saw a bump from last week. Last week there was only 10. So we did see a small increase there in number of homes that have sold. The number of homes that are currently on the market, 216, actually down from 217 last week. So inventory dropped by one home, and our number of homes sold went up by 3. So some really solid numbers there. The average days on market for the homes that sold was 38 versus 56 for the step up. And the number of homes that are currently in escrow sits at 74 homes. By far the most of any of our 3 categories. So little anomaly here in the 750 to 1.25. So that step up category, a little bit of a change. We saw inventory drop by one home, so it pretty much stayed level. We saw the number of homes sell actually increase. So very interesting. So again, we'll keep an eye on this for next week, and we'll see if this trend continues next week, and we'll kind of see where we fit this step-up category in the Irvine market. It's just very interesting to watch when you see the other markets, what's happening in the luxury and what's happening in the first-time home buyer, because they are a little bit different. So you can see each category has its differences. So if you're a buyer and you're in this category, you're a seller and you're in this category, you have to tackle it a little bit differently, right? So that's why you need to have your finger really on the pulse of the market. And that's why I do this show. I try to get this information out to you guys so that you do know what's going on, so that when you do meet with your agent or you're interviewing your agent, you want to make sure that they know this information as well. Because if they don't, you're in trouble, right? You need to figure out another agent, you need to find another agent, you need to call us, you need to ask questions. That's what you need to do, especially if you know more than what your agent does, because it's going to put you in a bad spot. So now we've taken a look at the first-time home buyer market. We've taken a look at the step-up category. Now we're going to jump into the luxury market. So this is anything over $1.25 million. So again, anything over $1.25 million in Irvine, let's check it out. So with the luxury market, we saw 3 homes sell last week. That's down 50% from last week. Last week we had 6 homes. This week we have 3. And again, typically we do see lower numbers here. Even without the COVID-19, we do typically see low numbers here. As we get into the higher priced homes, the buyer pool just naturally shrinks because not everyone can afford those higher priced homes. So we do see a dip there. But again, this is one of the lowest weeks for sold homes that we've had in 2020. So it is a little telling for the luxury side of things. Number of homes that are currently on the market sits at 185. That's up from 180 last week. We also saw the days on market for the sold homes at 29, so moving very quickly. The average days on market for the homes that are currently on the market sits at 96. And the number of homes that are currently in escrow that sit in this category sits at 35. The number of homes currently in escrow in the luxury side is 35. The number of homes that are currently in escrow in the first-time home buyer is 36. And the number of homes that are currently in escrow in the step-up is 74. Almost basically double what the other 2 are. It's very interesting, right? Like that market seems to be moving a little bit stronger and chugging along compared to the other 2. So again, we don't know what's going to happen as we move forward, and that's why I especially like this now. Doing this week to week, it allows me to really get this information out and really watch what's happening almost in real time, because we are seeing changes every day, every week, as things are happening with shutdowns, as some of these states start to slowly reopen. Here in California, we're not there yet, but you know what I mean? Like, we don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen at some point, and it's really going to be where are we going to be when that does happen. If you're a buyer, one thing I would suggest, if you're a buyer right now in the market, you want to do your due diligence with your agent, make sure they're following all the right safety protocol. If you're a buyer right now and you're not in the market, but you know you're going to be soon, do your due diligence now. Interview an agent so that you're ready. to hit the ground running when this is all lifted. Talk to your lender. Figure out what you need to qualify, what you can qualify for. Really just push through and do all of that due diligence that you can do. So when this is lifted, boom, you're hitting the ground running and you're ready to roll. Because I think once this does subside, I think we're going to see a big rush of people looking to buy properties, and you may actually even see a rush of people to sell properties. So it's going to be very interesting. It definitely is going to be interesting. And I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, and we'll just have to move forward. And again, it's one day at a time. It's 1 week at a time. So now that we've taken a look at the market as a whole and those 3 separate categories, now I dive in, take a quick look at mortgages, let you know what's happening in the interest world, so that you guys know what is happening, and really just to get this information over to you so you are aware. So let's take a look at interest rates for mortgages right now. So as of April 24th, our conforming 15-year fixed is 2.682%. Our conforming 30-year fixed, 3.362%. Conforming 7-1 ARM, 3.306%. A jumbo 15-year fixed, 3.079%. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 3.314%. A jumbo 7-1 ARM, 2.997%. The FHA 30-year fixed, 4.087%, and for our veterans out there, the 30-year fix is 3.064%. Something to be said about the jumbos. Again, we're seeing a lot of these products dry up. There's not a lot of lenders that are doing them right now. So if you are in this category, it's something that you really need to do some due diligence and look around, because you just may not qualify at this point simply because the investors aren't there, and their banks are looking at taking less risks because these are not government backed. So you have to really think about that when you're looking at these loans. So again, that's what's happening in the market. I hope you guys enjoy this video every week. I enjoy doing it and getting it out to you guys. If you do like it, remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you do know every time I post a new video. Give us a like, give us a share, and give us a comment. Let us know what you think. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and until next week, take care, everybody.